I took some time and really cleaned it up. It's a little blocked by the mill, but it's tucked back here. Makes the machine just that much bigger. But it's tucked against the wall. The motor mount is kind of tucked into this corner. I'm doing okay with it. The range of motion isn't too bad. This actually should be moved out a little bit. And now the tray, like the font holder, so I have all these fonts down here, and the tray, you know, like butter. Well, butter with rocks in it. And but it allows you to put the text anywhere, move it, put also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different lines, and then just adjust that. So you can have a whole bunch of different setups here. So you can have, like my kids' names, my last name, my wife's name, just like bing, bang, boom. And then just leave it set up and just take the one you need. Super cool machine. The other thing I want to do is I have a spirograph adjust, thing for this. I want to figure out a way to mount it to these little holders so it mounts through that into the table using this holder. So I got to figure out how I want to do that, and then I'll mount my spirograph to it and do a couple runs. You can still see some of the rust, look at that. But then when you look at it from here, it's pretty not bad. I came at it with some pretty heavy duty 120 stuff. Went at it really fine. Trusty pocket knife and some WD-40. I also used a bunch of Scotch-Brite, just a couple different levels of Scotch-Brite. This is a pretty cool font tray, and this is the mechanism I took off for it. So these little dogs, they're all, you can see the little V grooves. Not as nice as the other tray. The other tray is actually quite nice, but it has a little, you see how there's a relief cut in there? So this might have been like a later revision. It might have been cheaper to just come in there with a little tiny dovetail cutter or something. I don't know exactly why it's done that way. But this was the same. So this fit, the one that came with that other tray fit the machine absolutely perfectly. So I took this one off, and it shows you, so these are set screws. And what these set screws allow you to do is you put this tray on. And sorry, it's upside down here, but that gives you, square one way. Oh no, actually this is the right way. Square this way, square that way, and you can adjust these two screws to ensure that that's square and true running to your machine. So I lucked out. Oh my gosh, it was I waited for like years for this to show up on eBay, and when I got the machine, it came with the original parts manual, and it came with, the options for it. And some of these are just amazing, roll options that when the cutter went down, it would roll according to wherever the text was up top. So this would roll with your horizontal. It's kind of crazy. But they had these trays. Let's see if there's a part number for it. But the panto adjustment has two little holes here. So this hole is for 1-to-1 reduction, and this is everything else. Unfortunately, if I do 1-to-1, I'd run into my wall. The spindle is a pretty complicated mechanism. I crashed mine a couple of months ago, and I thought that was the end of it, but luckily it wasn't. When you get into different reduction ratios, something to keep in mind is you have different areas that the stylus can actually move, right? So the big, huge reduction chart area can only reduce, you know, a certain size and a certain, you know, like a certain pattern, because this pattern is kind of governed by, you know, the actual reduction mechanism. I don't see the font tray in this part manual, but with all really amazing machining companies, there's that with the double two, so it should be on the next page, and it's not. Anyway, in the Gorton catalog, like all good companies, it comes with an amazing kind of catalog that is associated with all the different beautiful things. There was a real huge obsession with a fractal vise a couple of months ago or years ago. The internet's loaded with it, and this is kind of Gorton's take on a fractal vise. And Gorton had like amazing tools, like super amazing tools, and like lots of different fonts and different font styles. And here's the trays, and from my machine, I could get a longer, wider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 row, and you know, with the 6 row, like it was a standard order kind of copy tray, they call it 337-1. So a 337-1, 24 inches, 30 pounds, 6 grooves. So that was the biggest one they offered in that catalog. But this one came, this is the 8 groove, I think, 1, 2, 3. And this one came off of an earlier machine than a P1-2. I think it was called a 3 something. And I am beyond ecstatic that this thing actually is the right size, because like it was a gamble, huge gamble. It was like $200 to ship it, kind of gamble. Just terrifying, absolutely terrifying the whole time, thinking, oh my gosh, please work, please work, please work, please don't be wrong, please don't be wrong.